this right here is the MyPlate method. So, the first couple of slides, well, in one of the first slides, I mentioned that a healthy, balanced meal, quote unquote, the plate method, the MyPlate method. So, in the picture to the left, you'll see a half a plate. You see half the plate's made up of vegetables, and then the 1/4 of it would be your protein, lean protein, such as chicken. And the other 1/4 is carbs. So you see here they have some spaghetti, and then to your right, you could just use this to create your own plate. So you'll pick one. Let's see if I can make it a little bigger. Yeah. So you would pick 1 cup, which would be 1 starch. So, and then from there, you'll pick 2 vegetables, 1 protein. So it kind of just tells you how to form your plate. And then
Mhm.
it breaks it down into ounces. So typically, you just want to have 4 ounces of protein. And then when it comes to serving sizes of vegetables, about a half a plate of vegetables are probably about 2 cups. So that just kind of shows you how to put all that together.
Some people, if they're trying to lose weight or fat loss, what would you recommend instead of the starch? Because I mean, I maybe like the corn instead if they don't want as many like processed like carbs like that.
Yeah, so if they don't want to have corn, I would say, go for some cauliflower and quinoa. So, cauliflower is a good substitution for corn. Um, it's a good substitution for rice if you love white rice and you just want that white rice texture. Um, Cauliflower is really good for that. More
Hmm.
so the rice cauliflower, so you don't have to spend forever cutting it. There's actually lentil rice. It's called white rice. So it has the texture of white rice with all the flavor in it. But really it's just lentils, so it's just a lot of protein in there. So it's gonna spike up your blood sugar. Um, so those are just some suggestions. To look into lose weight, I would say, you can go for quinoa, you can go for cauliflower rice, and then even whole grain products, so such as brown rice, whole grain bread, even barley, things like that, just because when you're eating whole grain foods like that, it actually makes you full faster. So you're not going to want to eat as much. So if you wanted to test it out, you could eat, let's say, half a bowl of white rice. And then an hour later, see how you feel. And then compare that to a half a bowl of barley soup. You may notice that you may not be hungry for another hour or two versus white rice. You may be hungry in 30 minutes.
Oh, really?
So yeah. So it takes so much longer to break down in your body, which is a good thing because you want that fiber slows down the breakdown of the carbs and brown products, so brown rice and whatnot.
And then the fruit or dairy. Yeah, I mean I have fruit all the time, so I guess that's good.
Yeah,
Um,
fruit's definitely good.
I know some fruits have like a lot more sugar in them than others, like maybe mango or banana might have way more than berries. Do you think like people should try to have more of the less sugar ones, or because it's like natural sugars and like maybe healthier sugars, it's not as bad for you?
So it's not bad. Um, Actually, fruits have benefits to them. I would say this part, if you're diabetic, there is a chart you can use. I would just type in Google glycemic chart for foods. It will actually have a chart of fruits and other foods low in the glycemic index. So that would be something you could eat every day. So let's say a banana, for example, that would be high in sugar, so high in the glycemic index. So that may be something you may not eat twice a day or may not eat every day. But something like blueberries, it would be okay to have that every day. Yeah, something like that. I will say too, um, dried fruits. So let's say cranberries, raisins. Typically, dried fruits are going to be higher in sugar because they're dried. So you're missing that fibrous component in it. So I would say, typically go for whole fresh foods. When I think
Yeah.
of dried fruits like that, that's good to have in trail mix if you're going for a hike and you're looking for that quick boost of energy.
Yeah, because I mean I love dried mango, but I think there's like a lot of sugar in that.
Yeah, and
So,
dried mango is okay to have. I would say maybe have 1 ounce of that and not just, let's probably not the best to have a whole bag all the time, but just 1 ounce and even look for something that says unsweetened dried fruit. So you want something that says unsweetened dried fruit because at that point, you're probably at that point you can compare it to eating candy.
what about like smoothies, like fruit smoothies? Is that just as good as having the whole fruit, or when it's like getting blended up, do you think it maybe gets rid of some of the nutrients?
So how should I put this? Fruit smoothies are really good. It's really good if you have problems with digestion because it ends up breaking down those fibers in the vegetables and in the fruits. I would say it's about what you're putting in a smoothie. If your smoothie is just mangoes, blueberries, and let's say orange juice. I'm like, okay, that's a lot of sugar in there. Where's your protein in there? Let's add in some peanut butter. Let's, switch out the orange juice for some 2% milk or for some Ripple, some added protein there that's unsweetened Ripple milk, something like that. So it's about what you're putting in your smoothie because you want to balance
Okay.
fruits, healthy fats like avocados, and then protein.
Got it. So, I mean, if you only do fruit and like, so say you do berries and banana, you would still recommend putting in like some vegetables or something more protein in there?
Yeah, I would recommend putting in some protein in there. So if you're gonna do berries, bananas, I would put in some protein just because, at least for me, you don't want that high sugar spike after consuming something that's really high in sugar, even though the sugar is good for you because that's fruit based, and it's carbs from the sugar, you still want something that's not gonna cause you to crash unless you're, going out for a workout or something and you just need that instant boost of sugar.
Do you think putting in like protein powder is good, or do those tend to not be as good for you?
So protein powder is fine. It really just comes to how much money you want to spend. So,
Yeah.
if you want to spend $14 for a week or two worth of protein powder, you can. Or if you want to spend, let's say, $2 for a jar of peanut butter, that'll last you, 3 weeks. And just do two
Hmm.
tablespoons or 3 tablespoons in your smoothie. This is up to you. Now, this is for people from around the world. So let's just say you have a friend who's from West Africa, so they're from Nigeria, or you have a friend who's from Cancun. You can go to the website on here. You can actually click, I think I put the source under this slide. So you can find the plate that's right for you. Or let's just say you're studying abroad. You can actually look at this plate. Let's say you're studying abroad in Ghana and decide for yourself, okay, this is how my plates will look. Because I think if you look on here, they have jollof rice, which is common in West Africa. So that would be a start. So that's 1/4 of the plate.
Wow, that's so interesting. I mean, that food looks really yummy.
Oh yeah, it's
So.
definitely good. Definitely like very, very flavored, very yummy.